So I've been back on Zepbound for 4 months, and I must say that the way that I approached it this time was the complete opposite of the way that I approached it the last time. And the results, it basically shows that the way I'm doing it this time, you don't do that. You go back and you watch the other videos, because this part right here, the last 4 months, it's been a struggle. A struggle. And I've been on the struggle bus. But if you want to hear about it, as always, let's get started. Hey y'all, my name is Tasha. I am mom of 3, wife to T, and I am on a health and wellness journey using the medication Zepbound. So let's just get right into it. The last 4 months have been like insane. But I'm back. Your girl is back on Zepbound and she back on YouTube. And let me just say, I am sorry that it's taking me so long to update you all. But it has been a crazy past few months. My teacher friends, you all can vouch for me that March, April, and May, it is the busiest time of the school year. You're preparing for the end of the year test, you're taking the test, and then after all that is said and done, you're doing the end of the school year activities. Then I got my own kids that I was having to do the same thing for personally. Then I'm a wife. And then I was traveling. We've traveled to Tennessee, we've been to Texas twice, and we went to my mom's house. And then I'm in school full time, like my doctoral program. Y'all, let me tell you that I was almost like, I don't need this degree. Like, this semester was crazy. And so it really has affected how I approached being back on Zepbound the second time, and it has been not the ideal situation, and it has really affected my experience with the results using the medication for 2 reasons. So let's just go backwards. I stopped the medication on January 17th. My journey is on YouTube. You can watch it here. But I stopped the medication on January 17th and ended up having to get a colonoscopy the last week of February. And when I tell you all, that was like the most stressful time, because I wasn't sure what was going on. It was just so many things. I was Googling stuff, and you know, that's the one thing you don't do when you don't know what's happening. I was Googling, so my mind was all over the place. So in that time frame, I developed habits and a mindset that said, girl, give yourself a break. You deserve to go ahead and just let go. Don't be so strict and hard on your body. Give your body a chance to heal and recover. That's what I told myself. But what happened in reality, I went back to the same things that the same stuff I was on before I started the medicine. Like sugar. I mean, I was craving sugar. I think the last video I told you all how I was on those True Fruit and Oreos. Yo, I added more to it, girl. I was eating. I was eating, especially when all that traveling to Texas, baby. I'ma eat in Texas, and I was eating in Texas. Shot or not, your girl was eating. It was just a lot. And so from me having that mindset of, girl, you don't want this stuff to take you out, you can eat, I was just experimenting with foods and hoping for the best, right? But I wasn't as serious as I was the first time. The first time around, I went in with the mindset, okay, I am going to start taking the medication, but I want to go ahead and start now with my weight loss journey. So I was exercising, I was eating right. So then 2 weeks later, I started my injection, and everything just went so smoothly. This time it was like, look, I don't even know if I'm gonna be back on this medicine, so I ain't finna starve for the so I was eating everything, and instead of saying, all right, now we know that we're getting back on the medication, let's get back on it, I was like, nope, we're gonna continue on. But I think that was partly because I was still stressed about work and all the things that I had to do. And it was just a lot. I don't know how to deal with stress without food. And this time around, Zepbound, it didn't necessarily cure me of that, all of the food noise. And I think it was because I was so stressed. I went back on the medication in a stressed state, and that stress did not let up. It did not let up. And so I didn't change my mindset around what I was doing. It was just like, we just gonna do whatever it takes to get started and to get through. through to the end of the school year. And so let's just talk about what had happened. All right. So what had happened was January 17th, I weighed 176.8 pounds. That was the last shot. And so in that time frame, I gained 4.8 pounds. And I was just doing all the things. And in my mind, I was like, I mean, it ain't going to be no fat. It's just going to be water weight. And so when I hit that shot, it's just going to fall back off. So on March the 7th, I weighed in at 181.6 pounds, right? Again, in my mind, I was like, it's just going to fall off when I hit them 2 clicks. I'm going to be 4 pounds lighter that next week. No, that ain't what happened. That is not what happened at all. Not only did I take that back, I did lose some weight. I think I got down to like 179, right? So then that following week, I was like 178. Then I went back to like 179. I hover around 178 and 179 all through March. And you would think being me, y'all know I like to reflect and feel like, what am I doing wrong? I was like, oh, I gotta change something up. And in my mind, I was gonna change something up. I wasn't gonna I didn't change my food, and I did not change my my movement. I was like, I'm just gonna change my shot location. And so I went from shooting in my thighs to shooting in my arms. And I will say that did help me, because the first time I shot myself in the arm, I was nauseous afterwards. And I was like, oh, I can't approach it the way that I was doing my thighs. So then I started dialing back some of the things that I was eating, because I was like, oh no, it seems as if this affects me more in my arms, so I need to scale it back. So I started watching my eating. I still didn't work out. And honestly, I still haven't worked out. But I started, being more mindful of what I was eating. So I think that was like the beginning of May. And then like 2-3 arms in, I was like, this ain't working. Like, you really got to do something else, Tasha. Tasha, this is not the way that the shot was intended. It is not it's a miracle drug, but it ain't just gonna melt the fat off. Because I was hovering, like I said, around 170. I was losing the same 2 or 3 pounds within those weeks. But then around mid-May is when I started saying, all right, look, reel it back in. Let's get it together. School is almost done. We gotta figure something out. And so that's when I started incorporating movement, not working out. Like I said, I still hadn't started working out, but just making sure that I was getting up and I was moving my body, meaning that I was walking. I would take laps around the building after I ate. When I was at work, I would walk up and down the hallway a couple of times, just getting extra steps. If I was at a parking lot, I didn't go for the front parking space. I would go to the back of the parking lot and I would walk up. And then that's what jump started my weight loss again. So it is true. You can take the shot and not lose weight. I keep seeing people talking about, I'm not losing weight on the shot. Are you moving? Are you eating well? Because for me, when I wasn't moving and when I wasn't eating well, I was losing the same few pounds. Back in March, when he allowed me to go back on the medication, he was like, listen, I'm going to put you back on the medication. I ain't sure about Zepbound. My doctor, I love him to death. He's not the type that's like, I'm just going to give you this medicine. He was like, I'm not sure if Zepbound didn't cause this. I know that you've had stomach issues before, but what we're going to do, we're going to play it safe. So don't expect to move off 2.5 for at least 6 months, if ever. And he was basically saying the majority of your weight loss have come from 2.5. And so now that you're on 5, you had issues. So let's just make sure that it's not Zepbound. So for the next 6 months, expect to stay on 2.5. And so that's where I've been. And I think that also has something to do with it as well, because I have been able to move up, and I don't know that I want to. I kind of agree with him. I like where I am, because as of today, I still don't have the inflammation that I had before. I feel better. There's a difference from me being on medication and me being off. I feel so much better being on the medication. Inflammation is gone. I don't have any pain. And I'm okay with just being on 2.5 for a minute. So where am I today? Today I am at 174.4 pounds. The lowest I've been was 172.6. Of course, every time Aunt Flo comes, which she was just here the other day, she just now left yesterday. It makes me gain weight while I'm on the medication, and I go right back down. So the lowest I've been is 172.6, but as of today, we're just gonna go off as of today. I am 174.4, which brings me to 6.2 pounds, and that is from mid-May till today. I've lost 6.2 pounds. So kudos to me. It's been more than that, almost 10 pounds, but you know, your body, your weight fluctuates anyway, especially for me around my cycle. So where am I going next? Y'all, there are a lot of things to consider in the next few months. Of course, we've all heard about how CVS Caremark, who is my PBM, they are changing people over to Wegovy as of July 1st. Your girl ain't received the letter yet, and I ain't called the people to ask. At first, I was in a frenzy. Then I thought about it. Even when I was off the medicine, I was still going to go pick up my injection. So I picked up, I think, twice in the time that I was off. So I have like a box and a half, and then a shot of 5. 2 shots of 5 in my refrigerator. I have a box and a half, and then I have to pick up another one next week. So I have a few boxes that'll take me through all of July and part of August, which is when I go back and I talk to my doctor about what we wanted to do for, if I was going to move up or whatever. I did meet with him in March. I think I met with him. No, I met with him in April or early May, one of the two. And we talked about moving over to Wegovy, and he said he didn't see an issue with the transition over. Of course, I would go on the lowest dose of that if I had to transition. Like I said, your girl hadn't received the letter yet, so I don't know if I have to transition. I did ask him to write me a 3-month script. I tried to fill it, and my insurance, they denied it because they do not allow 3 months to be filled at one time. They did say that I could probably get a vacation exemption, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not finna jump through hoops. I'm giving this to the Lord. It is what it is. But what it also did was it inspired me to see how much I could lose before my next appointment in August. And if I get to where I want to be in August, I want to have a conversation about maintenance. Meaning that if I have to go on Wegovy, it's not like I'm going to be doing it every week. It's going to be for maintenance. You get what I'm saying? Or even Zepbound for maintenance. I am happy with the way that I look at 174.4. I'll do another video and we'll talk about that later because I don't feel like standing up, y'all. Your girl, she done been cleaning carpets and everything, so she tired a little bit. But I'm at 174.4 and I'm a little slim thick. I'm happy with the way that I am. Like, I'm 174.4 and I love the way that I look in clothes. I don't know if I want to go down to 150. My doctor's goal is for me to go down to 150. I don't want to go to 150. I think that I might go to 160 and then see how I feel and how I look. I just don't want to lose my curves. Like, I love the way that I look at this size. And so what I want to do is, like I said, see how much I can lose between now and August. And also what I'm going to start back doing is working out. I am going to start weight training. And we've joined the Y. I've been there once. But I've already figured out that I don't want to do that. I don't like it at all. I don't want to be in nobody's gym. I want to be at home working out. So I'm thinking about making a purchase, but it's going to be tied to something. I can't buy it until I get something done with the house. Just trying to gamify cleaning up my house, cleaning up my life, y'all. It's been a lot. I've been stressed. And so from this, I can honestly say that Zepbound has definitely helped me. I would want to continue this medication on a maintenance for my overall health. This was not about weight loss for me. This was about my health. I have kidney disease with inflammation and stress and all of that. And this has made me feel great. Like I've had from June up until January, it was consistently a feeling of feeling great. I don't think I had any headaches, no aches, no pains. Like it was the way I felt normal for the first time in years. Felt normal for the first time in years, and I love that for me. I love that for me. And so I don't know, I'm not gonna stress about what's happening. I just know I have plans. I gotta work on my work-life balance. I have to work on that. And so my idea is to figure out something for the summer. Figure out a routine and develop habits this summer so that I can transition into the school year and it will minimize some of the stress. Not all, because you can't make stress go away completely. Your body needs stress in order to function and do the things that need to be done to keep you safe, etc. But to minimize that transition, that stressful transition, to minimize stressful times, just trying to figure out what I can do to make things a little bit easier so that if something comes out of the ordinary, I have routines and habits in place that I won't break, and it will allow me to get over that hump better than I did the last 3 months, if that makes sense. So my goal is to just, as always, count it all joy. I don't know. And I'm not the type of person that's gonna say, hey, this is what's gonna happen, because we all know that when you do that, God, he be laughing at you. And I don't want to be his comedy for the summertime. I just want to like take it day by day, week by week. I do have some exciting things happening for me this summer that I want to start, and hopefully I can find a good way to document it. But y'all, your girl back again. I apologize for leaving you hanging, but this is just the first of few videos that I have coming out in the next few months. So thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Remember to always keep the joy on your journey, and until next time, bye.